Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling strangely hurt, even though nobody was yelling? No insults, no arguments, just a few simple words. For millions of Americans over 60, that feeling is becoming increasingly familiar. Sometimes, younger people say things they believe are harmless. They may even think they're being helpful, funny, or complimentary. But certain phrases carry hidden messages, messages that suggest older adults are outdated, too slow, less capable, or somehow less important than they once were. The truth is, growing older doesn't mean becoming less intelligent. It doesn't mean becoming invisible. And it certainly doesn't mean a lifetime of experience suddenly stops mattering. Today, we're exploring 10 things many people over 60 are tired of hearing from younger generations. And if you've ever heard one of these comments yourself, you may understand exactly why they can sting. Let's begin with one that sounds like a compliment, but often isn't. Wow, you're really good with technology. Have you ever heard this one? At first, this sounds like a compliment, and sometimes it genuinely is. But many older adults hear something else hidden beneath those words. What they're really hearing is, "I didn't expect someone your age to know how to do that." The assumption can be frustrating. After all, today's seniors witnessed the entire technological revolution. Many used computers long before smartphones existed. They adapted to email, learned the internet, navigated social media, and embraced new technology over and over again throughout their lives. Imagine spending decades learning and adapting, only to be treated as though technology is something completely foreign to you. Of course, not every older person loves gadgets, but neither does every young person. Ability has far less to do with age than most people think. And perhaps the better response isn't surprise. Perhaps it's simply respect. Few phrases shut down a conversation faster than these 4 words. You wouldn't understand. Most people don't say it to be cruel, but the message often feels dismissive, as if decades of life experience suddenly count for nothing. Think about what today's seniors have lived through. They witnessed the Cold War, economic recessions, social revolutions, the birth of personal computers, the rise of the internet, and countless cultural transformations. Many have raised families, built careers, survived hardships, and adapted to changes that younger generations can barely imagine. So when someone says, "You wouldn't understand," it can feel less like a statement and more like a door being closed. Because understanding doesn't come from being young. Often it comes from having lived long enough to see the bigger picture. A 70-year-old woman signs up for dance lessons. A retired man buys a motorcycle. Someone in their late 60s starts a new business. And almost inevitably, someone asks, "Aren't you too old for that?" It's a question many seniors have heard countless times, but what exactly is it supposed to mean? Too old to learn? Too old to dream? Too old to try something new? The strange thing about aging is that society often expects people to shrink their lives, to become smaller, quieter, more predictable. Yet many older adults feel the opposite. For the first time in decades, they finally have the freedom to pursue passions that had been postponed by careers, mortgages, and family responsibilities. Age may change the body, but it doesn't automatically erase curiosity, ambition, or adventure. Before we continue, tell us in the comments how old you are and where you're watching from. One phrase that many older adults hear surprisingly often is, "You should be retired by now." But why? For some people, retirement is a dream. For others, it's not. Many seniors continue working because they enjoy it. Some have businesses they've spent decades building. Others simply enjoy staying active and productive. Work isn't always about money. Sometimes it's about purpose. Human beings need reasons to get up in the morning, and for many people over 60, meaningful work continues to provide that reason. The assumption that everyone should stop contributing after a certain birthday ignores something important. Experience doesn't suddenly disappear at retirement age. In many cases, it's at its peak. Helping others is a wonderful thing, but sometimes help arrives before it's needed. An older adult reaches for a suitcase. Someone immediately grabs it. A senior starts solving a problem. Someone interrupts and says, "Let me do that for you." Did this happen to you? The intention is usually kindness, but the message can feel different. It can suggest weakness, dependence, or inability. Most older adults appreciate genuine help when they need it. What they often dislike is the assumption that they need help before they've even asked. Respect means offering assistance, not automatically taking control. Back in your day, most people mean nothing harmful by it, but many seniors dislike the implication because it sounds as if their life belongs entirely in the past, as if they're no longer part of today's world. The reality is quite different. Older adults still pay bills, use smartphones, watch current events, follow modern culture. They're not visitors from another century. They're participants in today's society. The only difference is that they happen to have decades of additional perspective. And that's something worth listening to. Imagine finishing a marathon at age 70, or learning a new language at 68, or starting a new chapter after losing a spouse. And someone responds with, "Aw, that's so cute." Many older adults don't hear admiration. They hear condescension. They hear the same tone people often use with children. Most seniors aren't looking for praise. They simply want recognition, not because they're old, but because they've accomplished something meaningful. Few modern phrases summarize generational frustration more than, "Okay, boomer." For some people, it's just a joke, a meme, a quick way to end an argument. But for many older adults, it feels dismissive. It suggests their opinions no longer matter, that their experiences are irrelevant. Every generation has wisdom. Every generation also has blind spots. The healthiest conversations happen when both sides are willing to listen, not when one side is dismissed because of age. Perhaps the most frustrating phrase of all begins with 5 simple words. At your age, you should. At your age, you should slow down. At your age, you should stop working. At your age, you should stay home. At your age, you should be careful. But who decides what someone should do at a certain age? Many people spend their younger years caring for children, working long hours, paying bills, meeting responsibilities. And when those responsibilities finally ease, they're told it's time to stop dreaming. For many older adults, that doesn't make sense. Life isn't over at 60, or 70, or even 80. As long as curiosity remains, life still has chapters left to write. The truth is, most younger people don't intend to be disrespectful. Often, they simply don't realize how certain words sound to someone who has lived 6 or 7 decades. Aging doesn't make someone less valuable, less intelligent, or less deserving of respect. In fact, every wrinkle, every gray hair, and every life lesson tells a story that younger generations have not yet lived. Perhaps the greatest gift we can offer each other is simple understanding, listening instead of assuming, respecting instead of dismissing, and remembering that one day, if we're fortunate, we'll all grow older too. So we'd love to hear from you. Which of these phrases are you most tired of hearing? Or is there another one we missed? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more stories celebrating wisdom, memories, and the extraordinary journey of growing older. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.